Coach Costanza and we actually just connected over Twitter. And after talking with him a little bit, I got a good background on some of his coaching career. So he's currently the pass game coordinator and receivers coach for the Toronto Argonauts over the past just about 20 years, correct? You've been in the college coaching and arena league?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time. I started 97. I started coaching football, so I've been doing it quite a while now, and started in the Arena League in New Jersey. That took me, 97 till 2007, and then 2008 I made my way up north to Canada. In between there, I did a little Division III coaching at RPI in upstate New York, Division III college. Coached defensive backs, even though I've been a kind of an offensive guy. But I've gone from we talked about this earlier. I've gone from the smallest field in football all the way up to the biggest field up here in Canada, and it's kind of interesting how the whole process really started. To be quite honest with you, I graduated William Patterson, Division III athlete. Got done playing football, was working in health club management, and realized it's not what I wanted to do. You know, I had a degree in ex-phys and cardiac rehab, and looking around one day, I'm doing schedules and making sure we got enough lifeguards at the pool and payroll. And I thought to myself, well, if I wanted to be in business or business management, I should have went to school for business management. That's not what I wanted to do. I got fortunate, took a shot. The arena football team came to New Jersey in '97, and the owner of the owner of the team happened to work out at my club, Justin. So I got put into contact with him. He put me in contact with the head coach at the time, John Huffnagel, who was coaching the New Jersey Red Dogs, and I did a cold call to him. He said, "Hey, I don't have any paid positions, but you can come on as a volunteer the first year." And I resigned from the assistant general manager role, went back to personal training to make some ends meet, and started coaching, and it kind of took some legs from there. But it was a little bit of a leap of faith and a shot in the dark, and just taking a chance on something. You know, when you really have a passion for something and you want to do it, you'll find a way to get it done.
And talking with a lot of coaches on my podcast, you know, it really seems like there's a lot of people who go to college for, like, whether it be business or something else, and find out that their passion is actually in football, and go and take a chance.
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit more about, like, what was that like, and what advice would you give for somebody who might be in that position now?
You know, it's you got to take a leap of faith, and if you really know, if you're passionate about coaching, you know, you're passionate about being involved in sports. You know, unfortunately, there's no fast way to the top. You know, a lot of us, when we're younger, you know, we're graduating and we're looking at what our paychecks are coming in at, and you know, often you just want a job that's going to give you a good salary. I would definitely say to younger coaches, you got to understand it's going to be a little bit of a grind. You know, you might have to work some low-paying jobs and grind your way up through it. But at the end of the day, if you're really passionate about it and you know you want to coach, you're going to be happier in the long run. It's you know, looking back on that, it was a hard first 2 years going at it. You know, working for seasonal pay, having part-time jobs to make the rest of the 12 months, you know, come together and be able to make ends meet. But, you know, I couldn't be happier. You know, every day when I go to work, going to work is my passion. You know, and if you're going to work and you really enjoy what you do, you never work a day in your life, even though you might work long hours. You know, you're enjoying what you're doing. So, but, you know, for a young coach, I'd say look at opportunities. Don't really worry about the amount of money early on. it's all about getting experience, meeting people, getting connections. And like I said, if you really love what you're doing, you won't notice that stuff, and eventually it'll work out for you.
Yeah, totally agree with the sentiment. And for me, being still a younger guy, when I graduated college, I always knew I wanted to stay involved in the game somehow. And it just kind of happened by coincidence, or really by, like, I was lucky to just have this opportunity with CoachTools and my idea for like player grading. And over the past couple of years, just like you were saying, I love being a part of football and helping contribute to the game and talking with coaches like yourself. So it really is like it's a cool thing to be a part of. And especially when you're starting something, whether it be coaching or a new business like mine, it's definitely a lot of grinding and like you were saying, trying to make ends meet. So I'm sure you've probably been through it all.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, the one thing about, and just talking about our sport, the one thing about football, I think sometimes a lot of us forget, the sport teaches you life lessons all throughout. As a high school athlete, as a collegiate athlete, you're constantly learning. And a lot of times we don't realize those lessons until after the fact, whether it's perseverance or, the off-season workouts, being at the 5 a.m. workouts in the morning when you don't want to get up and go in college, but you go and you look how it's made you better at the end. So, for us, the guy, when you have that, guys that have played and the guys that have gone through that adversity, when you have that in you, that's part of your makeup now, right? Just like you're saying with CoachTools and putting that together, you're going to find a way. There's going to be some hiccups in the road, but it's what you're passionate about, and you're going to find a way to get it done. I often hear a lot of younger coaches, they'll talk about, well, they see one guy their same age and he's progressed, or, well, he was a running back coach 3 years ago and now he's a pass game coordinator, or he is, a defensive coordinator. I think that's the wrong way to look at it. You just set yourself up, for disappointment, not failure, but disappointment. You need to look at yourself and what's your path? What's the path that you're on? Like if you go and compare it to other businesses and you say, well, hey, this business, they've gotten here in 4 years, but I'm not there yet. Everyone's got their own journey. You just have to be comfortable with the way you're getting there.
Exactly. I mean, that's exactly it. Like, just relating to myself, and I'm sure my story might relate to a lot of other people. When I was in college, going into college, the day I graduated high school, I tore up my MCL, PCL, ACL. So I was going to Gettysburg. So long story short, I ended up missing my freshman season and my sophomore season because of a misdiagnosis. Like I waited to get the surgery. And like you were saying, that whole entire process, I didn't realize it at the time, but everything I learned about like perseverance, sticking to a plan and just not giving up, all of that is stuff that I've applied to now my business career post football. And it applies to everything in life, in my opinion.
Absolutely. You like I said, the football players and coaches, we hear it all the time, right? The lessons that you learn, but unless you've been there and you've been in it, you often don't understand it. Lessons of disappointment and overcoming, right? You go to the championship game and you win, and I've been fortunate enough up here. I've been 8 times to the championship game in the Canadian Football League in the 15 years, won 5 championships. Those 5 championships are amazing. They have great memories, so many good memories, so many relationships that were forged between the coaching staffs and the players, and you always hold those memories. But then you got those 3 losses in a championship game, and the disappointment's tough. I always tell everybody, it's you go there and you win, and winning is the ultimate ultimate goal. It's so satisfying. It does check off so many boxes of gratification. I said, but if you go and you lose, and just experiencing that loss one time, it's amazing how hard it is to overcome it. But then at the same time, when you take it and you can learn from that, and eventually, and I always say I never forget the losses, but there's a way to compartmentalize it and try to learn going forward what we're going to, be better at, try to achieve. Same thing, you hear it. A good buddy of mine, he used to coach football. He's got a business now, and it's the same thing for him. He talks about going in and doing his sales and the amount of no's he gets before he gets a yes.
Right.
But when he does get those wins, those wins kind of remind him of why he's doing it. And the no's or those losses, you need to figure out a way to learn from them and put them aside so they don't define you or chew you up on the inside as well.
Right. And I mean, that's the biggest thing, is just sticking to your why. And like, as coaches, I mean, nobody's in it for the money unless you're at the highest level. And it's about the kids, obviously. And for me, my passion is football, like, as I've talked about, but at the end of the day, like, just talking with so many coaches over these past 2.5, 3 years, and just almost like being a part of the community in a way, like, it's like my passion is helping. Like, it's funny just how it's progressed, like helping coaches help players in like an indirect way. Like, I almost feel like I'm helping coaches coach, which is pretty cool.
It is very cool. And if you think about it, Justin, coaching is what at the end of the day? Coaching is teaching, right? You're teaching. So, the more tools you have to be able to teach, often the better you are. I've made plenty of mistakes, and I've seen plenty of mistakes made over the years. I've also seen a lot of good things, and things done well from different organizations, different leagues, and different coaches and different people and how they go about it. And just like what you said, I love it. You said that, as a ex-college athlete, now you're in a position to help coaches help athletes. To me, the kind of the core fundamentals to being successful in whether it's coaching football, coaching any sports, or really even in business, but in sports, people forget the number one commodity is your athletes. It's people. That's, if we were Ford, it would be our trucks. In athletics, it's your people. And if you have trust amongst them, if you have honesty and you have integrity, right, and you go about it as we're going to teach, you'll get more success at the end of the day than you will failure.
Definitely.
Same
Definitely.
thing. You're helping those coaches help those players.
Right. Exactly. So, any last words, Coach, you want to share before we end the episode today?
Okay, I'll say this. If we talked about a lot of good things, and just looking at it, have a vision. If you're listening in and you want to be a coach, have a vision. If you're an athlete and you have goals, have your goals. Understand that I really believe your personal goals can't supersede the team goals. If you have individual goals and you work together, working together in football is probably the best thing. You've played it, you understand it. When a group of guys come together to achieve a common goal and nobody cares who gets the credit, it's awesome. It's awesome what can be done. When you win together, that's the greatest achievement at the end. But if you have a vision and you have something that you want to go after, just stay with it. Our business is by no means the easiest business to be involved in, whether it's on the athlete, it's on the athletic staff, the coaches, the business side of it, the companies that are attached to it. it's a tough business. It's a tough go. Everybody wants to be involved in it, and you need to be strong-willed and be able to stay the course. And sometimes, get told no many a times. But at the end of the day, I know that when I've had some adversity, or if I was going and changing jobs and going to a different club or looking for a different job, the number one rule is always bet on yourself. Believe in yourself, bet on yourself, and stay the course.
Awesome. I love it. Well, thank you. Thank you again, Coach. I really appreciate you sharing today. And thanks everybody for watching.